So today we're going to take a stroll and talk. We're going to talk about bullying. Bullying started for me when I was 5. And it was because of anger, I guess, toward me for seeming to be happy, and anger toward me for jealousy, which is normally the reasons why most teasing happens in people's lives. So when I was about 5, going on 6, we moved from my grandma's house to our new neighborhood. And it wasn't the best of neighborhoods to begin with. And I made friends with our neighbor, Dawn. And Dawn came by and got some cake and went home. Unbeknownst to me, apparently, the captain of the neighborhood had, she didn't adopt the kids. I think she pretty much was, she fostered them for short times. But one set she kept. And I remember Marvin. And then there was Marbella. Yeah, I know. Perfect villain name. Marbella hated my guts because she wasn't invited to this birthday party. And she began to take her anger out on me. And there were days where I would dread going outside in fear of running into Marbella. My mom hadn't raised me to deal with bullying. That wasn't her thing for me. She raised me to love everyone equally, not to fight with people, and to share. And Marbella was jealous of that. So just about every day, I would come home and try to get in the house before running into her. Or if I was outside, try to do anything that avoided dealing with her. They got a tennis court, y'all. So back at school, I ran into another issue, which you would think if you're at home dealing with one, the last thing you want to deal with is the problem at school too. Well, school was a different matter. Enter the next villain, Shakia. Now, mind you, I have a best friend named Shakia also. But this Kia was one of those kids that you could tell that the parents pretty much, now that I look back at it, made her grow quicker, mature faster. And she was thinking on whole nother levels that I wasn't thinking about. This apartment is an apartment. I found out it was an apartment. She didn't like me because she liked Ken. Now, mind you, it's kindergarten. You would think kids wouldn't be interested in boys or thinking boyfriend, girlfriend yet. But she was. And she was mad that Ken showed me attention. Now, mind you, I wasn't interested in boys. I didn't become interested in boys until maybe middle school. And even then, I was very picky. But she was mad that he was always sitting with me or next to me at lunch. Reason being, now I remember Ken was, alright, think about it. Ken was kind of cute, but I wasn't interested in Ken. What I was interested in was feeding Ken. Like I told you, my mom had raised me to be sharing. And Ken always had no food. All the pretty flowers are going in front of the house. But Ken always had no food. Kid never had food, ever. It was just no food. And so you had this cute kid with these cute clothes, but no stacks. And he didn't really like the school lunch. So I would share my food with him. She hated me for it. Now, this is when it gets really, really wild because, like I said, we're 5 and 6 year olds in kindergarten, and you're not thinking that a 5 and 6 year old can think like this. She hated me so much, love the colors of this house, that she made it her plan to have every other female hate me too. So by the time I graduated from kindergarten and moved into 1st and 2nd grade and 3rd grade, I was in isolation. You know those Japanese animes where the kids go through this really hard shit when they're really young, and then all the class hates them, and every time they go to a new class, it's this drama. That was me. Hence why sometimes I can watch those and I can't, because it brings back horrible memories. It got so bad that I would do things to get sent home, like sticking a nickel in my ear, swallowing a quarter, faking being sick, just so I can go home. And I didn't tell my mom about this, and I didn't speak to her about this, so she was always unaware until much later. And she eventually started working at the school district for me because she was worried about the situation that I was going through at school, plus the situation at home, plus the situation with my sister, who was paying tardy and didn't pick me up on a really cold winter day. And that was the end of the line. And my mom's like, well, that's it. I'm stepping in. The trauma that I went through for 5 years in that school caused me to black out 5 years of my life. I remember some good things only, and those are very small details. I remember distinctly the day I met my best friend, Shakia. We met it was almost the end of the school year. And we met in, I think, a science class, and we were watching a movie. And she was my saving grace. And when I say she was my saving grace, I mean, she literally saved my life. The day I met her was the day that I was going to commit suicide at 10 years old. I had rope and I had a plan. So I'm almost at work, and that's going to end this short video. But this is a collective story, so I will continue this in tomorrow's vlog. And thank you for watching. And if you know anyone who's dealing with bullying, please don't think it starts when you're older. It can start pretty young, and it's a very serious problem that if your children are open to you and tell you about it, take action. Love you guys. See y'all tomorrow.